Yeah, I want to thank y'all for catching up with me. It's so beautiful to be back. It is, and just recently we had July 4th, so I will not be wishing you a great one because that's what today's episode is about. What does July 4th? Well, not necessarily what is July 4th, but what does being an American mean to you? Whether you know whoever you are, whether you're even not even if you're not a legal citizen, but you just a resident, you're just a permanent resident here. What does being in America mean to you? Because I could tell you one thing, even though I'm a U.S. citizen, I don't celebrate July 4th because I don't go to parties where I'm not celebrated. You know what I'm saying? it, you know, shouts out to Germany. In the background, we got some of our civil rights, footage going, and truthfully, that's kind of what America is to me. It's a fantasy for some, it's paradise for some, it's hell for some, and for others, it's just whatever they make it out to be. And so, my grandmother, my beautiful grandmother, Mary Rivera's, who was born 87 years ago, she was 13 years old when Emmett Till took place. And so I always, again, I was 29 when George Floyd. I'm, different, times, different circumstances, but my juxtaposition is that it's just the witnessing of just brutality and just the witnessing of murder, and just seeing that as the American way. And so when I see the red, I think of blood. When I see the white, I think of supremacy. When I see the blue, I think of the highest power being protected, the blue eye, seeing, just everything and just taking over everything. But ultimately, having the ability to know that you're in control ultimately, whoever you are. So the American dream truly is the American dream for anybody who chooses to go after. And the American dream is not the American dream, it's your dream. You're just in America. And so it's just so, seeing yesterday, hearing the fireworks, it's alarming because I in my lifetime have heard gunshots, and I'm not saying that it was PTSD, but we did have a shooting yesterday with this mass shooter, and just seeing again how the media is going to portray this mass shooter who was some supposed rapper. More details are coming in, but this case is sickening because again, this is where we live. This is America. This guy Cremo, this dude, he needs to be cremated ASAP. And I'm not saying we need to do the death penalty because that's a whole nother conversation. Am I for it? Am I against it? Y'all got to come to the table for that. But again, this episode is about what is America to you? What does America mean to you? And so ultimately, America to me is a piece of shit. She's not worthy of a birthday. She's someone who owes me an apology, who owes my ancestors an apology. For some, it's a great place, but I need you to ask yourself, what does being an American mean to you? I do see it as a great place where I have the freedom to be able to even say these things. I will say that. I love America in that sense. America, they give me the Vaseline in that sense. If I was in China or North Korea right now, they'd be knocking down my door over that freedom of speech. And this is to really talk about a greater conversation, because, I know a lot of people have been heated about the Roe versus Wade. And again, I'm just for freedom of choices, not having people to be revoked their freedom of choice. It doesn't mean I'm for or against it, because ultimately, again, I'm for freedom of choice, whether it be drugs. I don't think that a lot of the stuff in society that we're promoting, or that we have set up, is not necessarily built on real ideologies. And so, we have drugs, but then we have prisons. It's like both people profit. And so how can we find a way to where people can feel good, where people can, and that's not here in America. And so, again, I'm rocking Germany, because talking to this German woman, and she told me how, as a German elementary school student, they are forced to go to where the Holocaust concentration camps are, and they're forced to see just the devastation that their ancestors did amongst Jews. And I thought that was an amazing thing, because here in America, we'll never have plantations where white, Christian, Catholic, whatever, schools will take their white kids to and say, hey, look, Johnny, Sarah, this is what your ancestors did. We have to make sure that this, doesn't happen. We have to make sure that we know what the word slavery is, and that we don't call it something other than that. Because from the critical race theory to the changing of the word slavery, I see what y'all trying to do. I see what you're trying to do, and you ain't slick. You're not slick, because your boy Chris, you're going to have to, but the footage, as long as I keep dropping the knowledge, that's all that matters. As long as I keep dropping the knowledge, hey, it's forever cemented in the books. And so, you can kill me, but you can't kill the ideology or the positive isms. And so, who are you as an American? Are you someone who is about the almighty dollar? Are you someone who is about making people feel great, making people feel loved? Are you helping others? Are you stimulating others' minds? Are you being creative? And so these are things that we have to take more into considerations as Americans. Again, Germany is able to look at the mistakes that they've made. Looking in the back behind me is just the footage of all the chaos that goes on, that has been going on. I think it's only right if we go to, footage of the last 5 years of everybody from Alton Sterling to George Floyd to, Sandra Bland. There's so many different cases. Tamir Price. I'm just naming all of these people off the top of my head. Again, these are modern day lynchings. It's just with the bullets. And the difference is that if this were, if we just had white people getting shot like this, there would be changes. There really is just an aggression. I felt it in my own life. I've had situations where where the police approached me and they said, you look kind of like, you're intimidating, like, like you lift weights, and, we're just going to have to ask you some questions. And, I think that that's something that, that's for another conversation, for another day. That situation's been handled, and this is trauma that I've dealt with in America. I don't, every time, even when I have been confronted with an officer, it's never fuck the police. It's never that. I have one officer in my family, and, I even talk to him sometimes and just say, hey, man, I pray for you sometimes, because I know that you're a good person out here doing the good work. And, hip-hop is kind of like really effed up and fucked off, a lot of people's perception of cops, because there are good cops. There are good people out there. There's, good doctors. There's bad doctors. I've seen some terrible BBLs, and so I know. I think that again, when we are waking up in the morning in America, America, what does it mean to wake up in this country? Because ultimately, I wanna retire. I don't want no stupid ad to come on behind me. I gotta keep it, with the civil rights, setting. And so what we gotta ask ourselves is this: what does it mean to be an American? What does it mean to truly live the true life? Because when I'm older, I don't want to live here. When I'm in my 50s, I want to be somewhere on the island, feeling like Andy Dufresne, like I swam through Schitt's Creek and I just made it. And that's gonna be the life, when I'm not dealing with racism, just me and the honey just chilling, and it's just, just no thoughts of just blood on the land, and like I'll have land owned and just be free, and just, I have my money in the bank and can always go back to visit the family out there. But America is just, it don't deserve this beauty, this black beauty. It's not worthy of it. And trust me, when it's gone, America's gonna deteriorate when this black beauty is gone, because a lot of other people are gonna go to other countries. A lot of other people are gonna go back to their homelands, and America will just be a place to maybe just meet up for business. There'll be so much blood here that, just be like, okay, who would want to live in this place of all this blood? And, another thing, I'll just leave it at this, because I think that this is very important. We're living in a time where people smoke ops and piss on graves. And I'm from New Orleans, and one thing I know about my city is that spirits are real. And so you don't even have to believe in a religion, but if you understand that there's a higher being at all times, you have to understand that spirits are good, spirits are neutral, and spirits are negative. And if we keep provoking the spirits that are sleeping, they will awake. And those that are waking them up, you will be put to sleep. What does it mean to be an American? Thanks for catching up.